So, about this, the hat is a part of the outfit.
Well, so what do you want to do?
I want to be cute.
It's recording. Thank you.
I don't want to wear these. I didn't think about it. Hello, my name is Mrs. Henry. What? God.
You're in the stage of life where you're really trying to discover
Figure who I am.
figure out who you are, because the way you've been going back and forth with this, it don't make no sense.
Hello. My name is Mrs. Melanin.
And I'm Beleaf Mel.
And we're here with episode 119 of How Married Are You?
Okay, my name Beleaf. This is Yvette, and we've been married
12
11
years. Babe,
California.
babe,
Got 4.
No. Do you want to start all over or do you want to just start from the rap?
All right, guys, ready? My name Beleaf. This is Yvette, and we've been married
12
12 years.
years.
Live in California. Got 4
4
kids.
kids.
Relationships scary, and it's very necessary that we share our love and struggles, and we ask how,
How
married
married
are
are you?
every single day, Thursday, shawty. Listening in the wedding party. It's okay if you want to put your hands up. You got the questions, we got the answers.
It's chocolate baby story time.
Chocolate baby story time.
It's chocolate baby story time.
1, 2, 3, and
Y'all, I am getting over a cold. I feel congested. I apologize for anything that goes wrong with my audio or my sound or my voice or my nose.
or your hat.
I'll take the hat off.
Okay, so now we got Yvette. Yvette had a cute little hat today, if you were listening, and she didn't know whether or not to put the hat on or have the headphones on. And the headphones are an important part of How Married Are You, because it's a podcast and you won't be able to hear yourself if you don't have your headphones on.
Yes.
So now, anyway, we're back with a chocolate baby story time. Babe, I don't have one. What you got?
You don't have a chocolate baby story time? You're not prepared?
Yeah.
Just kidding. Sorry. My chocolate baby story time has to do with my 2 youngest children. So the other day, like, honestly, feeding Anaya and Uzi is one of the most, like, probably the biggest pain point in my parenting journey currently, because they both have really serious food restrictions and they are young and picky eaters. So there's a lot that they could eat. They just won't try new things or they're not open to whatever. Anywho, Uzi loves fruit snacks. And if he can't get a fruit snack, he usually asks for his vitamin. And the other morning, he was really wanting a vitamin. Or he didn't eat his breakfast. And I was like, okay, well, you can have a vitamin if you finish your breakfast. And I was like, vitamins are only for people who finish their breakfast. And so on that morning, Anaya had finished her breakfast at that point. And I was like, hey, here, Anaya, you can have your 2 vitamins right now. And I did this in front of Uzi, hoping it would encourage him to, whatever. Uzi loses his what. And he is just throwing this fit. As a 3-year-old, I feel like his fits have just gotten extremely ridiculous.
Yeah.
He will, like, throw things and he just gets really upset. Anywho, so, yeah, I was like, no. And I was like, you can go to your room until you get yourself together or whatever. And then, we'll get it together. Anywho, he didn't leave his room, but his sister was like, hey, Uzi, come here. And immediately I knew what was about to go down. And I was like, okay, whatever. Fast forward to, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes later, Uzi comes up to me. He's like, Anaya gave me a vitamin and yada, yada, yada. So Anaya had given Uzi a vitamin and she had one for herself. And when I confronted her about it, she goes, Mom, but he's whittle. And I know what you said, but he whittle, Mom. He whittle.
Yeah. That's so wild. That's crazy.
I love it. But I wasn't even mad because I was like, I do want them to look out for each other like that in a healthy way. Yeah. I mean, I don't necessarily want it to be them against me, but I do want them to have some kind of like camaraderie.
Yeah, for sure. I I kind of had to be a little rough on the boys yesterday before I left the house.
Oh, yeah.
Talking about camaraderie with the boys.
I needed help, y'all.
I was leaving the house and Yvette's like, them two was fighting, and I don't know what you want me to do about it.
Because the thing is, and let me just elaborate on that. Because the boys, you know, like how there's play fighting and then there's fighting. And yesterday they were fighting. Like they were mad. But you know them, they kind of like got over it, and Theo, you know, he just sucks up all the tears and snot and just kind of goes on with himself. But I was like, wait a minute, that was rough. And you grew up with like a brother, and you know,
I didn't grow up with no brother. My brother was 10 years younger than me. If I beat my brother up, I went to jail.
Well, I don't know. I just didn't know.
And I was still aggressive with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I know about that age though, cousins, we fought. Like we hands up, put your hands up, pop. You know what I'm saying? Like we ended up fighting. And that is, you were trying to figure out, is this normal? Should I interject here?
Yeah, like I didn't know if I needed to step in between, and like, because it seemed like it was healthy for them to try to work it out, even if it was physical. And I realized, but then I was like, wait, I don't know, because Theo really got upset, you know? So that's why I was like, hey, Tag, you're it.
Well, here's the thing. So I didn't. The thing is, I turned it on, and I didn't know when to turn it off. Yeah. So I just started being like, yeah, and you don't clean up, you don't do your underarms, and just got all up in there. So basically, what happened was the two boys were fighting. They didn't come to a resolution. Usually, when you fight, someone wins and they get their way. Like, so if you're gonna spend energy fighting, go ahead and fight. But figure it out. Don't fight and then still be confused. And that's what happened with our children. They were upset and mad at each other. And I was like, well, who won? You know what I'm saying? Like, how did this situation get figured out? No conclusion. So basically, I was like, you guys need to really learn how to work together, because you guys are so focused on fighting for yourselves. If any of your friends were here, you would have let them go in the laundry thing first. You know what I'm saying? Like, you would have figured it out. The problem is y'all can't work together, so you do nothing. And then Raya goes, so Yvette got them new beds. They got two sides of the room. The rooms are split in half now. And so Yvette goes, you know.
Raya goes.
No, oh, yeah. So you said that they both had two sides of the rooms, right? You're responsible for this side. You're responsible for this side.
Yeah, and
Theo goes, how we going to know whose side is what? And go gets a piece of tape and puts it right down the middle of the room. So then I was like, you guys need to figure out how to work together. Go clean your room together. And then Raya was like, well, we don't have to work together because our rooms are on separate sides. And I was like, yeah, and it's exposing the fact that your room looks like crap because the side of the room looks gross. He was like, I don't care. And I was like, well, you know what? You ain't watching TV. You ain't playing no games. You ain't da-da-da-da-da. Because I don't care either.
Yeah, he doesn't care because he's about to leave out the door and go to the office.
And now enforce
and who
that.
is left
Yeah.
Behind to enforce your discipline?
Well, what else am I supposed to do?
I don't know. But
you shouldn't
next time
have tagged me
I'm not going to tag you.
You shouldn't have tagged me in.
You got to tag me in when you start to feel crazy.
I don't know when I'm feeling crazy. It all feels normal to me. That's how you know you're really crazy. Yeah. Okay, so we're picking up from last week. I hope you guys are enjoying a lot of the content that we're posting on TikTok, Instagram.
Yes,
you know,
I thought it was a high five. Sorry.
YouTube Shorts. We're posting a lot of content, and we just uploaded something very special. What's wrong with you mean? You haven't been posting on YouTube Shorts?
That's what I said today. Oh, okay. So today in the stories, if you're not following us on Instagram, I've been in the stories on Instagram, and somebody was like, what is your favorite and not so favorite? And my least favorite part is having to post on all the different things.
So we made the content. We need you to post or figure out who can post. Phil can post. Phil can post for us. We just need to give him all the login information, all that stuff.
Okay.
Shout out to Phil. And yeah, so I hope you guys have been enjoying all that content. We just uploaded a super dope lo-fi spend time with us as I did Yvette's hair. We just kind of talked really intimately. It was super dope. We just uploaded that to Patreon.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a Patreon exclusive.
Yeah, we just uploaded to Patreon. Maybe I'll post that on Beleaf in Fatherhood's page so you guys can see that. It's really special. I really want to promote How Married Are You because I'm loving the fact that we're doing this again. Right, the right way this time. And so yeah, so we're gonna pick up on what were we talking about?
So last week we started telling you guys, you know, we were kind of going in chronological order and saying, okay, so our last episode was actually uploaded on Christmas Day 2020.
Yeah.
And so we kind of gave you a play-by-play from January through, I think we got to November, when I went away and came back. And now we pick up with a bright spot in our life.
Oh.
I don't know if it's a bright spot.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know. Did we say this in the last episode? I don't think we did. But yes. So I don't know. I think it was like I don't know what kind of decision this was. It wasn't the best decision, but it's not necessarily a decision that I regret.
It was an impulse decision.
It was an impulse
and
decision.
I said, I'm down, but you need to swipe the card. Yeah, we decided to get a dog. And Yvette was like, we're doing this. Oh my gosh, she looks so cute. Let's look at all these dogs.
And we decided that would be like the kids' Christmas present.
Yeah.
That was going to be their Christmas present.
Yeah, because every single time we get them anything, it always ends up in pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And just a spoiler alert, everything they have gotten still ends up in pieces. And now the dog eats the pieces and poops the pieces back out. So we still got to pick it up.
And sometimes it's the dog that is the one who is making it go in pieces.
Yes. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So we got a puppy. And her name is Lily.
Mm-hmm.
We named her Lily after Glen's sister's favorite flower was a lily. And it was a specific lily. I can't remember which kind. But yeah, her name when she came to us was Rachel. So her middle name is Rochelle. I call her Lily Rochelle Henry. I don't know if anyone else in the family has kind of bought into that. But
yeah,
it's there.
I call her Lil Lee.
Huh?
Lil.
Uh-huh.
Lee.
Oh, like Brittany Lee?
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's still Lily, but I call it Lil Lee.
Why do you do that? When did you start doing that?
Always.
You didn't tell me.
Yeah, I know.
That's super sweet.
That was just for me.
Yeah. So we have a puppy. She is 75% Labradoodle. I'm sorry. She's 75% poodle and 25% Labrador. We had to do it that way because we needed a hypoallergenic dog for our children with all these allergies.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And it was hard at first.
Oh my gosh.
It was so really hard. She just always biting.
Yeah.
Very crazy and super high energy, and it would conk out and fall asleep and just always was testy.
Yeah.
And I just assumed that was just regular dogs, but apparently doodles are very hyper dogs.
I thought it was Labradoodles, not just doodles.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Labradors. Yeah, and so I feel like because of this next thing that came up after getting a dog, we didn't really get to enjoy Lily as a puppy. At least the kids and I didn't. I would say Glen didn't really get to enjoy it either, but he was spending the nights with her.
Yeah, so we had to rent another place while they were doing the renovations in our home because we had started the demo for the bathrooms downstairs and upstairs, and then there ended up being a leak.
So we didn't like officially say. So after we got a dog, we decided, or we had already been planning for a while to get our bathrooms renovated. And so we officially made that move, got everything booked, and was set to start in January. Glen said he was going to do the demo.
Dumb idea. Stupid. So dumb. Oh my gosh. It was like I was trying to feel like a man or something. Somebody else could have did it so much faster.
Do you feel like it was a part of helping you with like grieving your sister and your cousin and just life though? Like being able to knock in walls, and I mean, I'm sure at some point it was like, this is not.
It wasn't as like, all right, now I'm gonna punch a hole in this. It was kind of like you kind of got to break it off in pieces. It wasn't enough of that like throwing, but it was, it was as good as I could do.
Yeah, you did a good job, babe.
Thanks.
I'm proud of you.
Thanks.
So we did bathroom renovations, and while bathroom renovations were going on, I don't know, I think for a minute we thought we were going to be able to like stay in the house and live there while it was all happening, but I was still homeschooling at that point, and you know, dust was flying everywhere. It was like, just, I was like, I cannot do this.
Yeah.
I cannot do this. And then you have to, like, on top of homeschooling, you have to keep Uzi from getting in the way. It was too much. And then we had a dog. So
Yeah. And so we had to rent an
Airbnb.
And we got scammed.
One of them we got scammed.
Yeah, we got scammed.
Yeah, for a minute. So we stayed at a few different ones. We stayed at the beachfront one, which was nice. But then when we realized we needed longer than a week, we tried to rent another place. And they said, I like put in the reservation that I had a dog, but then because we had a dog, they were like, no, you can't come stay here. And then they didn't give us my money back. Mm-hmm. And then Glen, or how did we find the place we ended up at? I think it was
Mark, yeah.
Yeah.
So our realtor hit us up and was like, found a place for us to stay. A place that was about to become an Airbnb, but it was not yet. And it's like, so we ended up staying there for like a month. And then while we were doing that, we were supposed to drop off our dog.
Oh my goodness!
At a training facility because she was biting the hell out of the chocolate babies.
She wasn't like chomping on them, but she was,
yeah, the kids were terrified of her.
Yeah, they were scared.
Yeah, and so we were like, we're gonna get this dog trained, and then we got scammed because the dog trainer was just like this. He was a scam artist, you know what I'm saying? And so we ended up getting ourselves in a rough situation with that. And then we were displaced from our home for probably like, this felt like 3 months almost.
Oh no.
2 months.
Yeah, a good solid 2 months. Yeah, it was a lot.
Man, it sucked.
It was horrible. Glenn and I didn't get to sleep together in the same bed every night.
Not every night, but like maybe 4 or 5 nights that total time.
Yeah.
Because I had to come home every night for the dog.
Yeah. It was rough.
And she was like brand new puppy, so you couldn't just take her to like a breeding spot or like a
because she didn't have her shots yet.
Yeah, like a daycare and not like that because she wasn't allowed to be around other dogs. It was rough.
Yeah. So we moved back into our house, and I'm sorry, I gotta go in order. Displacement from home. Okay, wait.
Pretty much.
Did we get the new office place before we went to Maui?
Mm-hmm. And
okay.
then
Okay, so after the bathrooms were done, and even when we moved back into the house, everything wasn't necessarily completely done, but it was done enough for us to be able to be home.
Yeah.
And so that process, I think, took a little longer. I think he had originally said 3 weeks, but it took way longer than 3 weeks. Yeah. Anywho, we moved back in and we get the keys to the office.
Well, we got to enjoy our own bathroom in our house in a new way, which was really a big deal.
Oh my gosh. Our bathroom is beautiful.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. It's like when we step out of our bedroom into the bathroom, it's like we're stepping into
royalty.
Upper echelon, like high class.
Yeah.
Definitely middle class to high class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, our bedroom could use an upgrade for sure.
I'm not. Nope.
Well, you just were dissing it. So
I
just tagged along with you.
That bedroom is gonna look like that for the next 10, 15 years.
I'm not living in a house for more.
I'm just saying that's how it's gonna look.
Okay. So anywho, yeah. So we got to enjoy our bathroom, it's a treat. It's really cool to be able to see the fruits of your labor in that way. Like Glenn and I have been working hard, and to be able to afford something like that for ourselves, it just felt good. And
then just like really honor the craftsmanship that Jack brought, and all of like Etal and all those other people who helped out. They were amazing with their job. And then that's not front though. We didn't know it was gonna cost that much.
It's always something.
We did not know it was going to be that expensive. We were like, oh, okay. And it's like, what you going to do? The price keeps changing.
It is what it is. It already started. You just got to keep going.
Yeah.
But it looks great. I do wish we would have gotten the other bathroom just a little something done.
Yeah.
But we'll fix it up later.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, we moved back in, enjoyed the bathroom. Then we got the keys to this new office space that we are recording we're recording the podcast from.
Mm-hmm.
And it's humongous. Have you done you've done the office tour?
Yeah, you still need to do your tour though.
All right, so we got this new office space, which has been, honestly, it's been a treat. And I'm not even going to front, even like while we're on the topic of my specific room, I don't have And I know Glen like says things. I don't know if he's joking
Go ahead.
or what.
Let me just make sure this.
But he will like come home and be like, I don't live here. This ain't my house.
Yeah.
He'll do things like that.
Like, this ain't for me.
Yeah. And I be trying to include him in on decisions, but then he'd be like, I don't care. I don't know what, why does it matter? But anyways, I'm saying all that to say that I don't necessarily feel that I have a space that is mine. Or I know what it is. I don't have a space that is mine that I can control. And when I come here and I walk into my office, it's a space that is mine. It's like a room where I can exhale.
You have the best looking office in the whole place.
Thanks, babe.
It's incredible.
I was very intentional and like took time in doing it. And so anyways, I have a space there where it's like no one can make it a mess but me. And I don't really do that. And like it's a controlled environment, you know? Like I don't have a controlled environment in my office is that space. And so I'm really grateful for the opportunity that my husband gave me to have my own little four walls in the office because I didn't even know if I was getting that. And that's just been fun.
Yeah, I feel like it gives me a glimpse of what your apartment would have looked like if you were single. You know what I'm saying? If you would have got that time after college to just live in your own space. I mean, I don't know if you would have been able to get that furniture. You know what I'm saying? But just watching you processing in and out, you know, the furniture is like, yeah, you'll bring the furniture in, set it up, look at it, and take it down and put it back in the box and return it. And I'm just kind of like, oh my gosh. But I mean, it works for you. And you're productive in there, and you're restful in there, and you get to just have your own space to think. It's dope. I love seeing it for you.
Thanks, babe.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got the keys in the office, and we didn't actually get to fully move in. Like the whole moving in process is probably still going on. I think we're more settled now than we have been. But we got the keys, and then we went off to Maui. We took the kids on a trip to Maui for spring break. We went last year for Glen's birthday and Mother's Day. Or it was really for Glen's birthday.
Yes.
And we were like, we got to bring the kids back. And we brought the kids. It was beautiful and also awful at the same time. It was, you know, the kids got sick. Anaya and Uzi. Well, actually, everybody got sick when we were there. And that kind of made it rough. We had 2 trips to the ER. Glen had to take Anaya and Uzi back to back nights, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was really rough, but it was a fun trip. I think the kids enjoyed it and they would want to go back.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that we will take any of those types of trips anytime until maybe Uzi's like 5 or older. I think he's got to be older.
Yeah. We have a big family.
We do.
Like even for people, like I would love to be able to do that, but I want to do it. I want to be so comfortable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's definitely worth it because I understand the memories that we're making and the stuff that they're going to experience. And I would say that 80% of the trip was great.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Right? 80% of the trip was great. But the 20 was all in the beginning.
Yeah.
The 20 that was rough was all in the beginning.
Yeah.
And it just made it seem like, I don't know if we're going to do this again. We still paying for it.
We are.
And doctor's bills and all types of stuff. Lord.
Yeah, but it was a nice trip. And I think, like, honestly, I feel like, did I pull them on the way back? But I was like, okay, guys, so are we like the let's fly somewhere and go on a vacation type people? Or are we like the RV, let's just get in the RV and drive where we want to go? And I think everyone agreed that we are the RV family, which was really sweet for me. So I'm hoping we can plan one of those types of trips soon.
I'm trying to buy my own RV. That's what I want bad. But I don't want to do it. I want to buy an electric RV. When they going to make those? When they going to make those,
Well,
y'all?
somebody let Glen know if it's in the making, because if it's in the process of being made, then we can wait. But if not, let's just bite the bullet.
You know how gas is so expensive? And in an RV, it's already up there.
I'm sure it's possible. I don't know, though.
Yeah, man. It's worth it, though.
It is worth it.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead. Let's go.
So then when I don't remember how Okay, so I do this thing. Is it me? Was it me?
But we were in Maui.
We
We
were.
watched the kids run around that property. We were so excited to see
Oh
the
yeah,
kids running
yeah.
around.
Okay, so we were in Maui, and like Glen said, all that, and I have this thing that I do where I like just check out Redfin every once in a while. And so I was looking, I was like, man, I just love seeing them out there exploring, yada, yada, yada. So I was looking on Redfin in our city, state area, and I found this house, and I was like, oh my gosh, like this looks really cool. It was 7 bedrooms, like 4 or 5 bathrooms, a nice backyard. It was only like 0.6 acres, but it was pretty good. So we reached out to our realtor and we were like, hey,
and it's a full YouTube video on this, so you can watch that.
Yeah,
if you
we'll
link it, put it in the show notes. Remember those?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, that's what we'll do. We reached out to him, and then we got back on like a Friday, and then on Saturday he was like, okay, we can go see it.
Yeah.
So we went and saw the house on that Saturday, and I actually really liked it.
Yeah.
And I ended up, I don't know, we decided to put an offer in.
Put an offer? Offer got accepted?
Yeah. And then not only did the offer get accepted, but the person selling the home knew who Glen was.
Yeah.
It kind of felt
serendipitous.
Yeah. It kind of just felt good. Like, you know how like some things you can like move forward and, oh, that step felt good. Let's take another step and let's do it. And then it kind of got through that whole process. And in order to buy the house, we had to sell our house.
Yeah.
Which we didn't really want to do. Like, we just spent all this money to get the bathrooms redone, and it felt like, wait, what? We just did this and we're going to sell our house. But we were like, okay, this is a step forward. It's an investment. It's like, whatever. And yeah. And so we still weren't necessarily comfortable with the idea of selling our house. We kept going forward and forward and forward, and it was feeling good. And then it started to feel weird. And then it started to feel bad.
It started to feel worse, yeah.
And it started to feel like, wait, we shouldn't do this. Like, this just doesn't feel, we're trying to,
yeah.
We had to work too hard in this market in order to make it work.
Yeah.
And
should have been much easier.
And it was like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. And then I really was like enjoying taking a bath.
You could have took a bath in the other spot.
I could have. The other
but
one,
not in that lighting.
Yeah.
Not in that lighting.
You better tell it how it is, babe. Because that lighting, this morning I had a whole situation with that lighting in the bathroom. Yeah. Anywho, so it just didn't feel good anymore. And I was actually talking to a girlfriend. I was like, man, I really hope, because I talked to our realtor and I was like, hey, is there any way we can like back out of this purchase? And at that point, we were too far into the process where we couldn't like change our mind or do any of that. And he's like, nah. And I was like, okay.
No, we couldn't,
the only way
we couldn't back out of the sale of our house. We could back out of the purchase of the new house.
No, we couldn't.
Yes, we could, babe. The thing is, though, we couldn't.
Oh, because we couldn't. We were
contingent.
What is it called? Gridlocked.
Yeah, gridlocked. Yeah.
Yes, you're right.
So if we would have not gotten the new home and sold our old home, we would have been homeless.
Yeah.
We'd have been asking somebody to pay some rent somewhere.
Yeah.
And people ain't doing that no more.
Yeah. And so,
sorry.
Yeah, I lost my train of thought. Anyway, so one day I was talking to my girlfriend. I was like, man, I just hope that these people, because we had accepted an offer on our home. I was like, I hope that these people back out of this. Like, don't buy the house. And that was like on a Friday night. And then on a Saturday morning, our realtor calls us and he's like, this is not the news you want to hear, but your buyers got cold feet and they don't want to buy the house anymore. And I was like, oh my Lord, Jesus loves me. I was like really excited. I was not disappointed at all. I think we were both super relieved.
We were super relieved, but it still was going to answer some questions for me that I was like, it would have put us, in a different situation, it would put us in a different situation, but it would have been really good I think it would have been good.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. It would have been really good for our future if we could have got that place.
And I think, I think one of the things, I don't know if we talked about, if you did this in the episode, but one of the things about the house is that it was unique. It had a unique floor plan where it was like, there was like one whole house on the top level And then there was like a whole nother house with a full kitchen, full bathroom, and a laundry room
Master bedroom, all that.
downstairs. And so I think that's the uniqueness of that situation is why people are not buying it, because it is still in the market. I've checked it, and it's unfortunate. But we could have made do with it because Lord knows we need a living nanny. So yeah, we almost bought a house, almost sold our house, didn't do that. That was, in April. And then we got back from Maui, and then like a week and a half later, or not even, Glen accompanied me to Lakeland, Florida, where I spoke at a Wonder Here conference, and basically almost lost my mind out there.
Yeah.
They flew me all the way to like the other side of the country.
You got flued out.
They like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They like really wanted me to come speak at this event. And the other thing about it is that, like, if I don't know if y'all know who Carlos Whitaker is, but he's pretty popping on Instagram. Los Wit is his name on Instagram. But he was also speaking at that event, and he's someone that I am very fond of as far as like how he encourages people and speaks into people's lives. And so I think a huge part of me was intimidated by him being there, being a speaker there. They also had the founders of Wild and Free, which is a huge homeschooling community, come and speak. And it was just like, there's all these big name peoples, and then there's like Yvette Henry. And then they saved me for last, y'all. It was a 2-day event, a whole weekend long, and I was last. Now, we all know that the person who's last is like the keynote speaker. And I'm like, what the heck do I got to say to these homeschooling parents? It was very intimidating. That was what it was, babe. I was very intimidated by the situation, the people, and all the things. I will say though, like it was awesome having Glen there with me, because we didn't have childcare and
the kids were sick. They just came back.
Yeah, we weren't really feeling that whatever about leaving them because of what they had just experienced in Maui, and so we felt like one of us should be behind, and obviously I couldn't be the one.
Yeah, and then it was Yvette was freaking out. She was like, maybe they'll cancel it.
Oh my gosh.
I was just like, man, I was like, I was trying not to get in my like old black man bag where I was just like, you brought me all the way up out here. They better have this thing going on. What you talking about? I got to rent a car, and I was starting to do that thing, but you just kept like speaking so negatively to yourself, and I was like, very like, come on now, knock it off. Like at some point, I was like, all right, man, you got to stop doing this.
Yeah.
To yourself. But it felt good for me to not have any pressure on me because I'm usually in that spot, right? I'm like the one, like, I'm always doing something. I just want to sit down. But I was just watching you kind of like, man, I wonder if I, like, people experience like this with me. You know what I'm saying? Because I was also trying to be there to support you. But it was very hard because you just kept being so mean to yourself.
Yeah. And the cool thing is, y'all, I didn't even have my talk finished when I stepped up on stage. I was like, I do not know how this is closing. Lord Jesus, you got to come with it. Like, speak to me, speak through me. Like, just bless us, bless these folk. And when I stepped up on stage, there were still nerves, but there was a level of comfortability that I did not expect to have. And it just further affirmed that I was where I belonged. And my desire has always been and continues to be to speak into people's lives. And sometimes I feel more comfortable doing it behind a mic or via a blog post or whatever. But I do believe that I can speak. Like, I feel like people are always telling me that about my voice. Anywho. But yeah, so it was a really cool experience. I felt very affirmed in in that I belonged on stages, and that I have a voice, and that there is something that the Lord has put in me that he wants to communicate through me to his people. And so my prayer is that the Lord would continue to open doors of opportunities for something like that, and just enlarge my territory in that way, because it was fun and it blessed me just as much as I hope it blessed everyone that was there to receive it. So shout out to Wonder here for inviting me.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
good. You did a good job.
And I
there.
probably will go back to that conference, no lie, even if they don't invite me to speak. So really look them up if you're a
Yeah.
homeschooling parent.
Yeah, they have a dope thing going on.
Yeah. And
And then
so that was what, April?
that was April,
Yeah.
the last week in April, or second the last week in April. And then
So like we're trying to, well, I don't know if we're trying to do this. Glenn, you're gonna have to correct me if I'm wrong. But May is always Glenn's birthday and Mother's Day. And so it's always around the same weekend. And
this year was on the same day.
And this year was on the exact same day. And so we were like, it's kind of cool if we make it like a time for us to get away. Like maybe this time of year is when we like take a solo trip without kids. And we had this trip booked. We booked it in January to go to Mexico and to this all-inclusive adult-only resort. And Glenn's passport never made it.
Yeah, so we were going to lose the money if somebody didn't go. So Yvette ended up going.
I didn't want to go, and I wasn't going to go.
No, she wasn't. She was reluctant about going. I was like, we're going to lose the money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I was like, well, somebody got to have a good time, and it can't be me, so it might as well be you. And so I was home with the kids. Yvette went to a luxurious resort in Mexico. It looked really nice.
It was very nice, y'all.
Yeah.
It was my first vacation, like solo vacation. Like that was a vacation, I thought I would spend some time processing through some things and working on whatever, but the Lord said, girl, rest. Enjoy this time and rest. And it was an amazing trip. I really do want Glenn to experience that resort. And I do hope that we get to go again, but
yeah, we'll see.
We will see. But that brings us to today, I guess. That was May.
Well, yeah. I mean, let's talk about my time. Yeah, so the kids were sick during that time for a little bit. A couple of the kids were sick on my birthday. And so it was a sad time because I wasn't upset that Yvette was gone. I really thought she needed it. But I just was like, oh, I'm not doing good. Like I had this realization that like, oh man, like I literally have not stopped moving since the year before that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like it just was every week was just something crazy. Every month was a big decision. And I just realized, and this is for somebody, I don't know who it's for, but some people are called to do, to be in like the light or always called to do something, right? And so your life almost feels like overwhelming or too much. Mm-hmm. So you might not get that time that you think or like you always plan for and hope to get. So you got to make your days, like you have to carve out time in your days so that when you get to that time, you at least know how to treat it. Mm. You know what I mean? And so trying to do things and find a little time during the day to say, this is how I'm going to honor myself and treat myself well today. It's not easy to do that. But yeah, I suggest you guys to make your days or at least a part of your days great, right? And that way you'll be prepared for those moments. You get to just kind of reflect and rest really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good, babe.
Yeah. How married are you? Oh, I'm so married. Do I want to go with the stakes? Do I want to go? All right. Okay. So here's one. So we were just watching this clip. We just uploaded to Patreon, me doing Yvette's hair. Mm-hmm. And Yvette is going in on me, y'all. Like I'm trying to do Yvette's hair and she's just really just critiquing me the whole time. Did you do this, do that? Well, I would do it like this, do that. And I'm just kind of like being real snarky. I was like, oh, is that what happened the last time you did it? Because you ain't never do it, you know what I'm saying? And so she's going through this whole thing. And then like maybe 2 weeks later, we had this big fit about the laundry. Mm. And you know what I'm saying? She was kind of doing the same thing then. And we got into it bad. Mm-hmm. And then she asked me to do her hair again. Because I told her I would. And I still did it. Even though I was potentially putting myself in the same position to be critiqued again. That's love. I'm a cold man with that one. That's good. That's how married I am. You don't think that's good?
That's so good, babe.
It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
You have all types of crap going on in your head, and I don't want to hear none of it. I don't want to hear none of it. Babe, how married are you?
I'm so married that I was doing this thing. Well, we have these like ice cube trays that make big ice cubes for like, you know,
A cocktail.
A cocktail type drink. And Glen, I noticed he had bought himself some stuff to make his little cocktail that he likes. And the other day when the first night he brought it home, he didn't have any of the ice cubes in the thing because I was using.
You were using it for the specimens you had to turn into the doctors. I was like, okay, well.
I had to collect samples. Oh, we didn't talk about my whole nutrition journey. We could talk about it later another time. But yeah, so anywho, I was using it for something and I felt bad. So I washed it. And then the next time Glen went in there for his little cocktail, there was ice cubes ready for him to use so he could feel fancy.
That was really
because
nice.
we all know those other ice cubes are not as cool.
Yeah, not at all. That's great, man.
And that's just how married we are.